Alright. Let's get this loaded up. How do I want to do this? Don't think I like... Let me check this first, make sure I'm not dropping any frames. No. Okay, nice. I tried to stream last night, and it's like I was dropping frames left and right. It was not good. But today looks a little better. We'll roll with it. And I think we'll center that. I don't know. I really made a spider. I'm gonna have to play around with that some, I think. Kind of has a web look to it. Yeah, I like that. Pretty cool. I don't like his hair though. It's not doing it for me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that out. I'm going to... I want to bind the kid in web. I think is what I'm going to go for here. Let's do a little logo or something on his shirt first. Maybe like, I don't know. I want to look good on that. Do something like this. 30? Or should I do 45? 45. We'll do, I don't know. This will be like a yellow. Yeah, that'll work. Something for now, anyways. I can always play around with that a little bit later. Add some other stuff and work with it. Let me check my dashboard here real quick and see what I'm under. Okay, I'm under creative. Let's push this. We'll call it, spider food. That works. Out. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, cool. Good enough. So, I think these are too big. And I can do some shading in there to really clean that up if I want to. Yeah, and I think I will. For now, I just want to get something on his shirt. Right now, the hair. I think for the hair, I'm going to try something. I don't know what this is going to look like. It almost looks like it has a water pattern, which may not be what I'm looking for. But we're going to roll with it and see what we get. Try this. Send it to back. Yeah, that's better anyways. I need to copy this shadow though. And if I'm gonna do that, I probably need to make some exception for, let's see here, this over. Minimize that. Hit that. Probably need to make some shadows for the legs. Whoops. You know what? We'll play with this. We're going to do something like this. And black 10%. Yeah, that'll work. Make them a little bit smaller. More black 10%. We'll go like this. I'm gonna have to make this one solid piece, I think. Okay, yeah, that looks good. And then I think these, you would see these as well, maybe in the top. Maybe like, well, if you look at that gap, yeah, definitely gonna be like right there. Put my ship in too shallow, took 2 hours, so to dig a channel to back it out. Oh man, I'm gonna play some tonight. Here in a little bit, actually. How you doing? I'm doing a little bit of creepy drawing. I'm kind of at a point where I need to oops. I'm stuck at my progression. Like, I can't figure out what I need to be making. We're gonna put that inside of here, I think. Yeah. How many islands? 2. Well, no. 1. My original, because I had to start over from the game you were watching. The, I don't know if you were watching when I went to this pyramid thing. I found a pyramid on an island. And I went on the pyramid, and I went inside and I was like digging it out, finding like gold coins and goblets and things like that. And for some reason, when I, let me turn this down a second. For some reason, when I, went next to the wall, it literally like clipped me into the wall. And I couldn't get out. I couldn't get unstuck. But I've completely built back up. I've got a boat. So, yeah. How about you? How many have you discovered? Whole bunch or a couple? Yeah, and I tried it. And every time I did it, it wouldn't friggin' unstick. It was the weirdest thing. It's like, I don't know what was going on. I logged in and out, thinking maybe it would, like, move me or something. But everything I did, nothing worked. It's like my character just stayed still right there. I even went on the Wildlands Discord. And I was like, hey, a little help. And just, it's no biggie. I don't mind starting over. I mean, you know, a game like that's about progression and whatnot anyways. So, for me, it wasn't too big a deal. I didn't mind. I wanted to get a little bit of art in today. Let me grab this. Yeah, I'm going to stream here in a little bit, some Wildlands. Because my daughter, she's staying at Grandma's house tonight. And then my wife's at her work party. So, I actually get some free time. Which is cool. Alright. I like that. Looks good. I don't know if a pupil here is necessary or not, but I want to see what one looks like. I don't want white, because I've already got white. Nope, I'm not liking that at all. I like just the black. Yeah, I made a kiln, I made a forge, I made a foundry. And I can't figure out where to go for progression after that. It's like I don't know what it is. It's like I look and I don't have any more like stations to make. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to start finding more materials so that I can make more items. I'm not entirely sure. Unstuck 1. Okay. I tried unstuck and that didn't do it. Unstuck 1. Alright, well that would have helped. Because are there stations after the foundry? Recruit this spider. Now, as far as the kid is concerned, I think what I'm going to do is well, we got to get him some pants first off. So let's do that. Let's work on that. Yeah, because I feel like I'm at a point where I don't think so. It tells you which number to use. Oh. Huh. Yeah, I was stuck though. You know, and the weird thing was, like, I wasn't trying to do anything weird. It was strange. It was, I was digging out dirt with a shovel. I got you. I was digging out dirt with a shovel, and it's like I was hitting dirt, right? And my character all of a sudden, like, popped back. And, like, where the ridge is, going up on the pillar, the base of the pillar there, it's like my feet got stuck on that ridge, and I couldn't move. So then it was just, that was pretty much game over. I think I'll give this kid some shorts. Something like that. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. But I'm liking the idea of shorts. So let's play around with this. Have you found anything cool? Any more new stuff, or? You know, and that's what I was thinking it was. Because I found a desert island, and I found, I want to say it's sulfur. If my memory serves me right, I think it was sulfur that I found, or something of that nature. And, 2 barrels of gunpowder. What do you do with the gunpowder? I mean, obviously, you're probably making, like, ammo, or... Let it kill myself. So, what's your take on the current system of death? Like, the full restart. How do you like that? Is that... Because I'm hearing a lot of people complaining. They think it's a little too harsh. And I was curious what somebody else thought of it. Yeah. I don't feel that it's too harsh. I feel like it's a bit I don't know. I feel like I can see where some people would feel that it's a bit too harsh. Yeah, dying at sea sucks. It sucks. Like, you lose. That's it, game over. You might as well, I mean, well, I shouldn't say you might as well restart, but it's tough going right there. So what do you do if you die on another island? Do you have to make a new boat, go back to said island and get your stuff? Or what's the... Have you had that experience yet? Because I've yet to die on another island. I died at sea. Let's see, how do I want to space these? This? Yeah. I got armor. Yeah. Man, the other night I was playing, and, like, I was sitting there, and I was jumping through a cave. It was the craziest thing. Like, I was going through this cave, and it was dark, but I had a light out. And I hit this spot in the cave where there was, like, a giant hole in the floor, and I couldn't see it at all. Like, it was completely, like, you couldn't see it. And I just, for some reason, happened to jump right when I hit that hole and jump over it. So, like, I did one of these look down as I was jumping over it. And then when I, like, went back to the hole, it was deep. I mean, it was deep. I was like, oh, wow, I almost went right in that. I'm loving the game so far. I think it's great. I think they've done a really nice job with it. bind this, send it to the back. Let's give it like a, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm doing a little experiment here real quick. I wonder if I was going to make like a little white sock, if this would be the best way to do it. Just like this. Dig deep hole, place your bottom leaf hole, come back up all dead animals out of meat collection. So it does work then, because I've not made one. I don't like the way that outlines on that shoe. I'd almost rather make this a little bigger. And then center it. Yep, that's way better. Okay. I did find it fascinating how, like, my first playthrough, I found a sewing kit on like ruins, so I didn't have to make a sewing kit, and I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll use a sewing kit." Well, then my next playthrough, I basically had to make a sewing kit because I had not made one, right? And I didn't know you can make an iron needle. I didn't know where to get a needle. So I went and got the sea urchin, ripped it apart, took the needles, or the spines, and made my sewing kit. One hole I made had a 3. Wow. I might try that out. All this to red. Turn this to this. Needle out of wood. Oh, you can. See, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. Because I was sitting there and I was like, all right, where do I get a sewing kit? And it was like, okay, I need a needle, obviously. So I started looking around and I didn't see a way to make one. And then right when I thought of the sea urchin and I ripped it apart, I noticed I could make iron. I never saw wood. Guess I should have just typed needle, right? And see what comes up. Now, how am I going to do web for this fella? I'm kind of torn on how I want to do this. Do this. Group the spider back up. Made alchemist table and damn thing didn't work. So, I heard someone, maybe you found this, I haven't yet. With the alchemist table, it didn't work at all. Like, you couldn't make anything? Like, or... I haven't made one yet. Someone was saying you could either make a underwater potion or some sort of a diving machine, or both. I don't know. Have you heard anything on that? Nothing. Sucks. Because I want, like... I want to do some, like... underwater exploration, man. That just looks really, really neat. Yeah, I'm going to look at that. Because I really want to, like, I found, the game I'm playing right now, I found ruins. I found an underwater city. Not just a shipwreck, but an actual city. And I so want to go down there and check that thing out, but I haven't because I know what happened last time I went in the water. First, you run out of oxygen really, really quick, and then secondly, the sharks. Because somebody was saying that even though the graphic for weapons underwater is bugged and it doesn't look like you're actually hitting anything, I guess apparently you are actually hitting something. I don't know. I've not successfully killed anything underwater without them being near land or on land. Oh, I can do it like this. Okay. Have you checked out the wiki to see? Have you looked down it for anything you needed yet, or you pretty much have been figuring everything out as you go? I'll have to look that up later. But I really want to know that about the underwater stuff. I mean, it makes sense as a wiki. There's a wiki about everything. I just hadn't thought to look. Yeah. I'm curious. One thing that has me curious. I'm curious, like really curious, how many more items do you think they're going to add to the game? Because it's like, I look at it as it is, and there's already a lot going on there. A whole lot. So I'm really curious, like, what else is going to be added? Because, granted, I mean, they obviously have the groundwork laid out. But I'm just curious what else their plans are. I want outboard. Yeah? I would like to see... I don't know. From what I understand, I've not touched it yet. But from what I gather, there's like a whole electricity system and like power system already in the game. Now, granted, I have not advanced that far, so I don't know anything about it. Screw sail gave me power. Yeah, right. Yeah. Have you made the big ship yet? The large ship? I've only made the small one and the raft out of bamboo. Because I was curious, like, if the big ship was worth the effort. Like, is it noticeably faster? You see, I've not found rubber yet. I'm not even sure where the heck you get rubber. So was the big ship that much faster, or was it just the satisfaction of having a bigger ship? And the other question was, can you build? Oh, yeah, I didn't know if you meant your little boat. Oh, you said ship. You did say ship. You didn't say boat. Yep. I see. Is it faster? Or... because that's been my question. Because I looked at how much stuff it takes to make that, and I'm like, wow. You build a cabin on it. Oh, and then you can build in the cabin. So you can put, like, workshops and things like that in there. That makes sense. I don't think I'm gonna do any shading other than the spider. More sails, faster you go. Now, with the sails, do you craft the sails individually and you decide how many sails you want on the ship? Or is it like you build it and it just comes with that set amount? Or how does that work? Yeah. Oh, wow. See, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. You need a lot of cloth. Yeah, that's been one issue there. Cloth is definitely not the easiest thing to obtain. I think what I need to focus on in the game is making an actual, like, farm. Flax or cotton, yeah. And see, I've been doing it with flax. I think I need to focus more on some farming. Not just, you know, running around and picking up all the plants I can find, but actually, like, looking legitimately at some farms. And actually planning one out so that I can have crops that are a continued growth pattern. Because what's happening now, I'm finding, is like... Okay, yeah, you can still see those. That one looks a little... No, yeah, it is a little off, isn't it? I don't want any of these off. Okay. Good. Yeah, it kind of looks like web. Interesting, anyways. Make inventory containers. Yeah, I made the, seed container, I think is what it's called. Okay. Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun with it. Good game. I bought a copy for my daughter. But she's only 6, so she's kind of struggling with some of the concept right now. We play some other stuff together. We play like Creative Earth and some other games like that together. So she's still kind of getting up to speed with it. But she's starting to grasp it, I think. That'll just clip off. I'm not worried about that piece. We're going to go like this. Yeah, that'll clip off. Not worried about that at all. Pizza done. Alright, bud. Have fun. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna stream some Wildlands later, so I'll be around. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Does this work? Yeah, it looks kind of like webs. So I could do roughly the same thing over here. Well, actually what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to copy all this. Sorry, just kind of talking to myself, trying to see how I want to do this, because I don't want it to be an exact duplicate one for one. I want to kind of... So for that, I think I'll do this, as a matter of fact, and we'll do something like this. And then we will rotate some of this stuff. I'm playing around. This is a concept that came to mind today. I don't really know why or where it came from, but I was at work and it just kind of, the idea struck me, and I figured, you know what, it would be kind of a cool looking picture. And I'm not worried about these webs that are expanding outside. They'll just kind of clean themselves up. And I think there would be a connector somewhere in the middle of this. Kind of like this. I don't want to make a full-on spider web, because that would take a very long time. But I just want to get some of the integral pieces here, or what would look integral, I think, and then we'll call it a day. You know, with the web itself. Break that apart, and then we'll... Never made web, but I think the point's coming across. Kind of interesting when you go to make something new and you've never done it. Alright, we'll move it here. What is this doing? Why is that clipped? Why did I not copy? Copy. 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 Okay. Man, this seems to be a pain all of a sudden. Yeah, we'll just copy these. There we go. I don't know what that was all about. Apparently it did not want to play nice. Okay. Yeah, and again, and I could, I could really get into, and I might actually, just to clean it up, because I'm a stickler when it comes to stuff like this, but, I could come in and cut those off, but I'm really not worried about it, because I may end up resizing some of them and whatnot. Okay, so we're going to take this guy. Almost like this is a spider layer. Apparently I've been doing a lot of, like, horror type stuff later. I did a weird one last night. I'll open it up. It was strange. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I had been watching Stranger Things, and it was like this whole floating patient concealed in like a VR helmet, kind of getting drained, just came to mind for some reason. So that's where I went with that. And now I got this little kid getting crap scared out of him by the spider. Apparently I've had some scary stuff on the brain here lately. Yeah, you go too padding sometimes, Alright, let's, I want one more over here, I think. This is kind of the design phase, just trying to grasp what it is that I want to have. Yeah, and it looks like web. Okay. Got the kid all tied up. I don't really want to do any shading other than the only shading I want to do here is the shading of the spider on the face, because I think it helps emphasize that. I feel like if you start shading the whole character, you're going to take away from that shading, which, helps really set in the fear and where the spider actually is. But, alright, where's a small one here? There we go. Yeah. We'll do something like this. Give it a little spin. Yeah, maybe I'll end up cutting those off just so I can get a better look at what I'm playing with here. Because those edging, even though they're not going to export, they're still bothering me from a graphical standpoint. They just look a little sloppy to me, but I can always clean them up. And then I think there would be something through here. Let's see. Take and drop this. Everybody having a pretty good day so far, or? I am. Off for the weekend, have Monday off. Pretty excited. Christmas coming. Couldn't ask for a whole lot more. Kind of looks like web, I guess. If you really wanted to get intricate, I guess you could do a full-on spider web, do the actual pattern and whatnot, but I don't really want to take that much time with this. I suppose I could, but I feel like that might be a little much, a little overdone. I think I'm just going to go with something like this. And then we have this space over here. It feels slightly off, so let's take this kid here. Maybe I should stop watching Stranger Things and watching scary stuff, huh? Give my brain a rest. And it didn't help either. I don't know if anyone's played that. I was playing that Observer game. I don't know if anyone's heard of it or played it. That's pretty trippy. That gets your brain going as well. Alright. Let's do... I'll experiment with something here. I don't know how much of this I actually want to overlap, but let's... Over here. Yeah. That's cool. Alright. Yeah, I like that. And then I think I would like one more down here. We'll rotate and we'll tilt it a little bit. Kind of pull it in there. Oh, get over that, yeah. Yep. Oh. Okay. Pretty cool. Hey there, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I don't think I've seen you in here before. I'm drawing a little kid getting scared by a big old spider. Something different. Let's see here. I don't know how much more web I want, and this looks slightly off balance for me. Let's do something. Yeah, that's way better there. Pretty cool. Yeah. I'm experimenting with this. I'm trying to emulate a spiderweb, you know, kind of tied him up, but in more of a rounded vector shape. So this is kind of what I'm coming up with. And so far so good. I like what it's doing. And obviously these here, the external outside of the frame aren't going to show when I export the image, so that's not a problem. And that's all pretty good. So I guess the next part I could do is I feel like the boy should be up slightly. That means I want it a little bit smaller. I went in English, not my native language. I apologize in advance. Hey, no problem. No problem. I understand. What is your native? If you don't mind me asking. I'd like to put a shadow under the kid, but I feel like if I get any closer to that spider, I'm going to be too close. Maybe I'll go like that. What is your regular language? If not English, what do you normally speak? Let's go 5, maybe? Polish. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Kind of liking that. I like doing a shadow under the characters. It helps kind of, to me, it helps just kind of showcase where they're at on the image. Kind of like where, you know, so you get the sense that they're floating. Not just that he's obviously strung up with webs. Are you an artist? Do you draw or stream or anything like that? Or you just like to watch? Yeah, pretty cool. And then I'm thinking I want something over here to kind of finish this corner here off. Go like this. I know a lot of the people that follow me, they tend to be artists themselves, or they at least Twitch stream. So I was just curious. Yeah, that works. Pretty cool. Let's see, I want to open up, where is the other image? I drew this last night. This was a different kind of take. Something a little different. I do a lot of flat vector style art, and this was last night's image. Pretty cool. And this is tonight's. The eyes look really good. I wonder if I should do some like other mixed tones in there, like some different colors or something. Here. Must be really late for you if you're in Poland. Well, I assume you're in Poland if you speak Polish, but because I know I'm in the States and it's almost 7 p.m. Eastern, so that's pretty late for you. I'm assuming after midnight? Okay. So I have an idea. Let's do... prefer technical drawing, and I'm here to talk to someone in English and look for American people. Well, cool. Thank you. if you have any questions or, you know, about what I'm doing, just let me know. I'd be glad to try to explain it if I can. I'm thinking about doing like a can of bug spray. Almost like bug killer, you know? Let's see how that looks. Let's see what that looks like anyways. We'll do bright yellow, because I think that's the color that a bug spray can would probably be. And we'll do something like that. And here, yeah, this is going to be cool right here. We'll do a pissed off spider because he's got shot with bug spray. Well, it does look a lot like a bullet, doesn't it? I'm actually hoping that it looks like a spray can. I'm not quite done yet. Like a bug spray can. Because what I want to do is put like a label on it, like this. So my thought is do this and then do the picture of a bug or some sort of... I have an idea in my head. We'll see if it plays out. Oops. Let's see. We'll do a line here. Do a line here. Paste inside. Now, we need a bug. How do we want to make a bug? That's how I usually draw. I kind of think of stuff as I go, and then I just tend to make shapes, and then things either work or they don't. Okay, so I know it would really highlight this. We'll do something like this, and we'll do 45. We'll copy it, paste it, and put it in there. Yep, that's starting to... We'll put a little mouth on him, just to help drive the point home that he's dead. No, I don't think I want the mouth. But I do want antennas like this. We'll cut it. Yes, a spray can. A spray can. Yep, that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going to see if I can make it work. And I'm assuming that's why the spider is so angry, because the kid sprayed him. Makes sense to me. Get rid of this. What we'll do is we'll just copy this over. We'll center it. Yeah. And we'll do a little bit smaller body in here like this. Okay. And then we'll do a... I guess we'll give him some little legs. Why not? Give him some little, like, you know, make it look like a dead bug. Let's see. Let's spread them out a little bit. Yeah. And then, for the final touch of the can, it will go like this, and we'll exit out. Just to help. There you go. Yeah. It comes together. You know, so now you kind of get the hint. Now we need a top for this. So we would need to do something like this. Here. And we're going to do a cutout. This. And then we're going to make it white. And we'll go here. So now we have a kid that tried to spray the bug with almost trying to tell a story, you know what I mean? Like an actual, like the kid tried to spray the bug and now the bug is angry. Three. See? That makes sense, right? The kid tried to spray the bug. Now the bug is mad. Yeah. So the kid. Yep. Yep. So now, you know, you got the kid tried to spray the spider with the spray, but the spider wasn't having it and tied the kid up. So now the spider has dinner. That's how we're going to go with that. And then, so we should enable this. And here's what we'll do. We'll change the name of it. We'll say Spider Revenge. We'll push that out. I'm going to update the name of my stream. There we go. Yeah, that way it kind of makes sense. So now we have... Okay, so we got the can. So what else could we add to this to make it look? We could, if we really wanted to. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's, you know, it's a fun hobby. I enjoy doing it. My brain's stirring here. I'm trying to figure out how I could make a dead one. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try this. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. Let's take the arms. Get rid of this. Here's what we're going to group these. See, a lot of the way that I make art is I learn to experiment. I just try stuff. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well then try next time. That's generally my principle. So here's what I'm thinking about. So we would almost have to overlay this one, but we're not going to. We're gonna make this one look flattened. Like this. And then we're going to take these and make them, we're going to warp them so they look like that. So the spider almost looks. And we'll take this and we'll shade it. Get rid of that. Okay. So now we have the equivalent of a dead spider. We'll make it small like it was a baby. Like this. And we could even skew it if we wanted to make it look even more flattened like this. And then turn it. I'm experimenting. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I'm just trying to see if this works for me, you know? The idea works up here, but I'm trying to see if I can make it work here. It's like the wrong... Nope. We're going to delete that. Start over. I don't like it. We'll try that again. Let's take this. Okay. So how would I do this if I wanted it to go... Because I'm already working on a flat image. So I can't really... If I throw in a 3D perspective right now, it's going to throw off the image. So I don't want to do a 3D perspective. I want to do something like... brain. Let me take a drink. See if I think about it for a minute. I might come up with something that I want to do here. There's got to be something I can do. Alright, let's, because I was thinking about having like a dead one on the ground, but if I turn it like that, it doesn't look dead. It just looks turned, which is not what I was aiming for here. I may just axe it because I don't like the way that looks. Huh. We'll leave it there for a minute while I think about it. I'm not sure what I want to do there yet. There's got to be something I can do, but I don't know what it is. Just for a minute and see. Alright, cool. Yeah. Having with that. Hey, Shadow, what's up, bud? Yeah. See, my problem where I'm struggling is I'm in a flat perspective, a one plane. So I don't really want to try to take it three-dimensional. Because I had one almost three-dimensional, but it didn't look right because the rest of the image is so flat. You know what I mean? So I don't think I really want to do that. I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy. I got Monday off, the weekend. Looking forward to it. Got a nice weekend planned. I got some work to do, but other than that, pretty good weekend. I'm looking forward to it. How about you? Got any plans for the weekend? My brain is tripping over itself here. How do I want to play with that? I like the can. I like the kid. I could try to do like a squished one, but then, no, I'm not liking that idea. All right, we'll take that out. I don't like it. I could always copy this over again if I want to do it. So, trying to think of what else I could add to this image. Because it actually looks pretty good the way it is. I feel like if I do a whole lot more, it's going to subtract away from the clean look. And I was talking earlier, I had thought about doing more of the shading here, where the spider's shaded, like shading the character itself. But I think that trying to shade the character is going to subtract away from this shadow. I like having that the only shadow because it kind of sticks out a little more to me. You know, since it's the only shadow on the page, you really see it, or your eyes really catch it. Yeah. Same weekend as always, yeah? I got a wood stove to install in my shop. I've got Christmas presents to wrap. I've got Lord knows what else to do. I think my wife's hosting a party or something, so I'm sure that she'll have something for me that she needs help with there. Hey, Bork, what's up? How you doing tonight? Hey, thanks for the follow, Nicola. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. That puts me... Let's see. That puts me 4 followers away from 50. So that's pretty good. I'm getting there. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for taking the time to do that. So what does everyone think? What else could I add to this to give it more detail? Any thoughts? Any input? Because I thought about trying to do something in the background, but then again, I feel like if I do, it's really going to subtract. Well, let's do this. Let's export this puppy real quick and see what it looks like. And then we'll open it up and see what we got. That way we can see a good clean copy of it. So now you can see without all the webbing. I think it actually looks pretty good the way it is. I really do. Got the little. I think one thing I would probably change is this. I don't really. His shirt, I did like a quick design, just trying to get something on there. But I don't really like the way that went. So I think I'm actually going to do this. I think we're going to cut this. And then I want to do some sort of a weird square. I don't think you. Yeah, I know. And see, I'm trying to avoid that if I can. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm trying to put some sort of a logo because you know it's a little kid. I want something on his shirt. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel like if I were to, because I had one of these down here. And I had it turned, and what I did was I took the back legs, and I skewed them, and, you know, I took off one eye, and it looked alright. But then it looked three-dimensional. And because the image is flat, the three-dimensional really threw it off for me. Like, big time. I just didn't care for it. Did you see the one I did last night? The one with the, I called it the draining. I was pretty happy with that right here. I'd been watching Stranger Things, and I was playing a game called Observer. It's like a horror game. And my brain kind of went here with it. Which was different, but it was cool. It was fun. Almost like a hospital patient hooked up to some sort of an apparatus, hanging, suspended. I was pretty happy with it. How was your day, Bork? Pretty good? Good day at school, or? Got that shadow, that shadow. Maybe I could put a... I know what I'll do. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. I don't even know how I would do this, but let's try this. Oh, thanks, Shadow. Appreciate it, bud. I didn't know you weren't following. I am going to try and make a freaking... a ball cap. Appreciate it, really do. I think that puts me 3 away now. Let's go look. Because it's funny, now that they've added all of the achievements, I've met all the criteria minus the followers. That's the only thing I'm missing at this point. Oh, you got 2. Oh, that's the other one there. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I got a buddy of mine. He's going to throw a follow, too. Thank you, thank you. How in the world would I make a baseball hat? Oh, God. I don't know. So, do you do any digital stuff, Shadow? Or is most of your stuff, because I see a lot of the stuff you do on Discord is like pen and paper type stuff. Do you do anything digital? Or do you do exclusive, like traditional media stuff? Kind of looks like a baseball hat, I guess. We'll do the hat this color. We'll do the brim like this. And we'll put the brim to the back. I don't know. guess this looks kind of helps. If I thought about doing some traditional stuff, like doing just like sketches, because that's the one thing Adam's always, he's always given me beef. He's like, man, you should really try to, like, you know, sketch some of your stuff out. And I do try, but it's like, for me, I'm just more comfortable with just going at it. You know what I mean? Just taking and making shapes. And I know for some people that's just odd, but for me, it just seems to work. Like, I just kind of like, I get an idea in my head and I just rock it, you know? So we'll have to resize this clearly because he has a massive head. And we'll do the same. We'll do accounts. I think my wife has an account, and I didn't even think of that. Ew, no, keep the red. We'll do, like, what is this gonna look like if we do those? Yeah. Alright, does that look like a hat, or am I nowhere near where I need to be with that? Because I'm kind of seeing a hat. I feel like the brim is what's killing it for me. The brim doesn't feel... Yeah. That's the one limitation you find yourself working with, is when you're doing flat, is the moment you think you want to start kind of giving something perspective, it deducts from the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really can't. You either commit to that straight flat or you get away from it, you know? Because if you try to, like, do a half thing, I've just never been able to make that work. It just looks really sloppy when I try. So I've always just kind of stuck to the one, you know, shape. Yeah. And it's like right here, I could definitely make the case on why I'd want something, you know, to turn that spider and everything. But then I feel like if I start doing that, the whole picture's just going to ruin itself. And I like the flat style, obviously. That's what I like doing. But to me, the flat style is really clean. So it gives a really technically clean, high-quality image. So for me, I think it looks really, really good. Yeah. Yep. I'm happy with that. Pretty good. Pretty good all the way around. Let's see something here. Hour and 5. I want to see how long I've been streaming. You working on anything currently? Some of the drawings you were linking earlier? Or are you just kind of taking it easy tonight? That too to come down. Riding up too high. Yeah, pretty cool. I think the only other thing I could think to draw would be like this. Here we go. Let's try this. Let's see if my brain is envisioning this. Let's see if we can pull this off. Tell me if you can kind of see what this is as I do it. Let's see here. It's like my shadow drawing. I was expecting to make it more cartoony, but I love how it turned out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So do you normally pre-sketch your stuff, or do you just shoot from the hip? What do you find to be the best method for you? I mean, because I know you're working with traditional, so you could sketch before you fill in. I'm just curious what you've found for you. Because it always interests me. Like artists that try to, have some sort of a preliminary idea of what they're doing, as opposed to people like me that just kind of roll with it. I think I'm going to try to take this slightly lighter, like 23. Yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll see if we can't get this thing some shape, but in the traditional flat vector way of doing it. Because I know, like, Galen and Adam, they definitely sketch. They all do preliminaries. And I feel like every time I try to do that, I find myself straying from what I was doing and like going way off course from what the original sketch was. So for me, it just almost ends up to be like a waste of time. If that makes sense. I'm always trying. Still running the ropes. Yeah, I totally understand. So am I. This is I've only been doing this about. I've only been making art now for about, probably, I don't know, 8 months now, maybe? So, this is all still relatively new to me, and I'm still going back and relearning a lot of, like, art concepts and things like that. Trying to get a better grasp on all that, because it's been so long since I've done any form of like real art. I think last time I was probably in college, so I was shooting for a stick of sorts, but I'm not liking it. Well, I am, but I'm not. I like how it goes behind his legs, and it kind of add another layer of dimension there. I almost feel like maybe I should turn it into a broom. Like, give it a broom head or something. Let's try that. Let's see what that would even look like. Like this? No, like this? Yeah, something like that. And then, crap, I don't know. It's funny because when you start drawing, it's like, I've never drawn a broom before in my life, So you start sitting here and you brainstorm and you're like, how the heck would I draw a broom? I have an idea, actually. If I can make this work. Let's try 64. We'll go back. And we'll go 54. Yeah, I'm not liking that. There we go. We'll do something like this. I'm gonna try something here to see if I can make this look like bristles. Like broom bristles. I'm not seeing broom. I'm not seeing broom. What if I do this to make it look? Because I know how on broom sometimes you have like this. I think the last time I did one, I think it was 15 years ago. Like, so started this shit. Yeah. It sucks because I used to be really creative when I was younger, and life happens. We all know about life, and you You know, you start to do what you're supposed to do and not what you want to do, unfortunately. But, you know, for me, this is like I've told my wife, for me, this is kind of meditative and relaxing. You know, I enjoy this to the point that it makes me happy to be able to do this and to create and have fun. So for me, it's almost like medicine, if you will. Helps me get stuff out of my head at the end of the day. I guess it kind of looks like a room now. Yeah. It is. It's fun. It's my couple minutes to, you know, have to myself. And then like a night like tonight where my wife's at her company Christmas party and my daughter's staying with my mom, I really have some time to just kind of chill to myself. So it's kind of nice tonight. Just hanging out. No real implications other than just hanging out, having a good time. It makes sense that the broom head would be sideways like that, right? Because, like, again, with flat, you're going to see the side of the broom. You're not going to see this side like this. You know how a normal broom would look or something like that. You're not going to see that. It does put a little pressure. And I really wanted to do more with this last one. But I was really busy at work. And unfortunately, I couldn't. So I had to just get something quick down. I wasn't really happy with it. And I might revisit it and kind of like touch it up. Because what I got down, I just wasn't really satisfied with, you know. And I know it's supposed to just be a sketch, but at the same time, I still like to put high quality spin on it. Howdy, hey, how you doing? How have you been? I haven't seen you around on the Discord and stuff too much. Probably been busy, huh? Yeah, I know what you mean, the 1 hour sketch. I do enjoy it, though. The problem is, when it happens, I'm at work, literally, at work. So, if I try to do it while I'm doing other stuff at work, if I can, and then it just kind of goes from there, you know? Alright, so we got our creepy crabby little spider. We got a broom, a spray can, a hat. I think my phone batteries that I haven't gotten on my effort running. Ooh. That sucks. It's better now, I hope? I ended up watching football and drawing it. I didn't like it myself, me doing it that quick, yeah. I think what I'm going to start doing is when I do the 1 hour sketch, I'm going to take whatever I make, because I do it in Vector anyways, but I think I'm going to take whatever I make from the 1 hour sketch, and I'm going to make a home folder, and I'm going to call it like 1 hour sketch, and I'm going to go back and revisit those, and use them as like springboards for a new image, you know? Because I'll show you the ones I did. They're right here. I keep them in a separate folder. So, there was that first one we did. I did the lunch lady, and I was pretty happy with her. I thought she turned out pretty cool. And then there was the love bug, and I was pretty happy with that. Turned out alright. A little different, but I enjoyed it. But the witch house, it was like, I used these as kind of just springboard ideas. The biggest thing I wasn't really happy with was coloring, because the sky is too dark for me. So I need to come back in and kind of revisit, and I don't like the coloring of the house. So I want to come in and just touch this up and make it look a little more realistic, and put some fire under this pot, and kind of, you know, play with it a little more, tweak it a little more. But I do like where the image is headed. I just don't like the total look right now. But, yeah. Really cool. What caused your phone to factory reset? Was it just a glitch, or did it, that sucks. Yeah, more time, for sure. For sure. My wife would lose her mind if her phone did a factory reset. She would go nuts. Like, she's a real big, I mean, she's a big phone user. And, man, she would, ooh. So what I want to do, alright, we're going to export this, and we're going to call it Fighter Revenge. Check this real quick, my wife. Told my wife to let me know when she get to where she was going. That way I knew she was there. But she's going to one of her coworkers' house for a Christmas party or something. Oh, okay. She's there. Cool. Sorry. Gotta keep up with the wife. Make sure she's good. Alright. So, yeah. I'm good with that. I think. Pretty happy with it. But I think what I'm going to do, as a matter of fact, is I think I'm going to pull open that witch one. And I think I'm going to play with that some. And now that... Yeah, the little spider guy. Not bad. You know, it's funny. Where all this stuff started was the other day. I was talking to Adam, and I told him I'd never watched Stranger Things before. And so I decided to go ahead and watch the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things. And not a bad show. I can see myself watching it. But then I started playing a game called Observer, which is like a pretty freaky game. But my last 2 drawings have been this poor fella, like a hospital patient hooked to some sort of a, I don't even know. And that was last night. And then today was this. So I think my brain's been kind of stuck on horror from the Stranger Things and from playing that game. It's like that's where my brain direction is right now. Wants me to... Yeah, I would agree. I mean, if you had the hour, take the whole hour, you know, and really try, because your drawings, I mean, 30 minutes is, because I saw you the other day, it seems like every time we do it, you're done in like 30 minutes flat. Take just a little more time and flesh it out. Yeah. Because I know, like, with this one, when I was doing this, it was like I mean, he was hitting 30 minutes and I was still trying to get it done. Alright. So, this poor sky is way... I want it a little more dusk. Thinking like this-ish. Let's go with that. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to shift gears over here for a minute and play with this image and keep these open. Because I think I'm pretty good with this kid here. So we're going to save this as, we're going to call it, y'all can see my crazy folder system I have. We'll call it Spider Revenge. Here's all the stuff I've been drawing. I do enjoy the 1 hour, 1 sketch though. I think what I'll do is once and I only had about 30 minutes to do this because that day I was so busy. Alright, so we got the sky. And see, I wasn't happy with these clouds. They turned out a little too dark for my liking. I want to kind of do some different... I feel like this one will be slightly lighter. This one will be slightly darker, right? Makes sense. It's always a nerve. Yeah. I think the big thing is, too, is when you get started, like when you first get moving with it, it's like, okay, you know you only have an hour. So in your head, you're psyching yourself out. It's like, okay, I have 1 hour to do this. So you start putting stuff down. And then before you realize it, you've pretty much, you know, you've hit that 1 hour wall and it goes quick. It goes really, really quick. I know exactly what you mean. Okay, I want to... How am I doing this? Oh, that's because it's grouped. Alright, I want to make this whole thing this color. No. I'm trying to think of what I could do to add just a little more detail to this. I have an idea. What if I did this? And went back one. Now that I kind of like. Yeah, I like that. And then here. I think these shadows need a little perspective somewhere. A little lighter. Oh, that's cool. Because all these are rounded rectangles. So I think that's kind of interesting. Just doing a little bit, you know, a little bit of color. I think those went a little too dark. So do you guys, either of you watch Stranger Things? Do you recommend it? Do you... What's your takes on it? If you do watch it. Because what I've seen so far, I like. But granted, I've only watched the first 2 episodes, I think. Stranger Things. On Netflix. I think it's a Netflix show. Do you watch it? If so, do you recommend finishing it? Or, because I've watched the first 2 episodes at the recommendation of Adam and a couple other folks. Need to do that. And so far, what I've seen, I do like it. Oh, it's a little hard to watch at the beginning, but it got better. No, why do you say that? Did you not like this, the horror side of it, or you just didn't like the direction of it? I'm curious if you don't mind me asking. I'm glad to see more streams what I want to watch. I'm a horror was okay. So yeah, you're like my wife then. My wife, she can't stand the thought of, you know, anything scary. So for her, it's just out of the question. I didn't like some of the characters initially. Yeah, I get you there. It's intriguing. Like, I watched episode 1 and 2, and I'm pretty happy with it. I like where it's going. I like the feel of it. You know, I gotta make time and see. My other limitation is my daughter. You know, because that show's not really appropriate for a 6-year-old. So I have to be really careful, you know, watching that around the house. Okay, so clouds look better, the moon looks better, smoke looks better. The house looks terrible. What can I do? I think what it is I don't think I like this brick pattern. I don't think I like the brick pattern at all. I think that's what's throwing me off. It's like the wood with the brick. Adult concepts with limited being apparent. Yep, I totally agree with you there. You know, it's tough with my daughter, you know, because my wife likes to watch Vikings. She watches Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. She watches all that stuff. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV, really, but she likes to watch those. And, you know, she really has to filter it. So what she tends to do is watch those in the bedroom. And then, you know, she keeps the remote handy. So when my daughter comes bounding in, pause, you know, or change the input or something, because we try to be pretty restrictive as to what our daughter sees and doesn't see at age 6, you know. I know everybody has different opinions on what is and isn't appropriate, but We look at it as she's got plenty of time to grow up. And there's no reason to do it fast. So I had an idea for this little chimney here. And I want to see if this is going to work. See, I think the bricks would look better like this, being a little more sporadic, I guess would be the correct word here. Not so pristine and perfect. Kind of like this, upheaval a little bit, you know? Whoops, that is not what I was looking to do. More like that, and then we'll do like an extra long one, and we'll do like a short one. Movies, yeah. We watched, oh god, we watched a couple movies that we enjoyed. We watched Justice League. I didn't mind it. I'm surprising my wife. She doesn't know it yet. One of her Christmas gifts is we got a really cool cinema cafe here where I live, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna surprise her to see Star Wars. She's a big Star Wars fan. So I'm gonna take her for that next week. We're gonna have a nice little date and go see that. So she ought to be pretty excited about that. There goes your neighbors. What are they, loud? Loud neighbors? I have to feel bad for you there. Driving out to Arizona tomorrow, drop off kiddo with the grandparents for the week. Oh, nice. Well, that'll give you some free time. That's like my daughter. She's with my mom tonight. My mom wanted to keep her. I think she's going to keep her tonight and tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. Neighbors loud. That sucks, man. Spending that week packing the house for the remodel. Yeah, you were telling me about that last time you were around. You'll have to find something fun to do. Don't spend the whole week working, though, you know? Find something to do. Yeah, cool. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to surprise my wife with it, because she has no idea. I've already got the tickets. And what's cool is the theater that I'm going to take her to here, it's called a cinema cafe. And I'm sure you guys have something similar, but that's what they call them here. So the seats are like these big, giant recliners. And they actually recline like a lazy boy. You don't sit in a normal movie theater seat. They are full-on recliners, like big boy recliners like this. And the whole chair reclines out. Well, the way it works is on the chairs are these trays that pop up, and they bring your food and your beer and wine and liquor and everything right to your chair in the movie. So you can order like a rum and coke or whatever you want, and they bring it right there. And yeah, I do too. And so it's like really, really cool. And they put a ton of space between the aisles. So you have like a ton of room between you. So they have plenty of room. Really nice theater. So we're going to go do that. I had noisy neighbors once, Shadow. They feel free to. I don't anymore because we're in a house, so we have plenty of space between us and the neighbors. But I know what you're talking about there. That sucks. All right, I want to select all these bricks at once. These are all bricks, right? I think it's the coloring of the brick that's got me kind of worked up. I think it's just if I could change the coloring of them, I think maybe I wouldn't be as I think I want to do it like this. Maybe it's the bricks themselves. I don't know what it is. I'm in a flat. It's not good for my anxiety and depression. Yeah. Are your neighbors nice at least? Or are they just loud? Somebody help me. What is it about that I can't stand? Is it the stupid brick pattern I made? That is just assaulting my senses. I just feel like maybe I should make... I was going for like a stone house, but God, I am just not feeling that. They're loud. Yeah, that sucks, man. People are disrespectful. Alright, we're getting rid of it. We are going to try something completely different, I think. Yeah, because that's just not doing it for me. I like the rickety shaped windows. That I do like. Cabin in the woods. Yeah, that's kind of... The theme was witch. Well, it's supposed to be a spooky house, but we do the 1 hour thing, so we only have an hour to make it happen. I think I'm going to extend that out. And that owl didn't have nearly enough detail for me. So I want to play with him a little bit. Let's do this. This board, I think, will be a little bit darker, or at least a little bit different shade of color. I feel like right in here. Yeah, alright. And then I like the chimney, that's better. I like those beams there. This color isn't right. I have an idea. Let's do this. We'll make some odd shaped boards. Let's see if we can do something like... Guess these will be lighter. I'm experimenting here, folks, so no telling what we're going to get out of this. What am I... No. Alright, come on, brain. We can do this. It's definitely headed in the right direction. I don't draw a whole lot of houses. I'm assuming you can tell. Sleeping tablets. I take, oh god, what is it my wife gives me? Melatonin? It's, supposedly like a natural thing your body makes. And they dissolve on your tongue. They do it for me. Because I generally have a lot of problems sleeping. But man, those knock me out. Like 70. Oh yeah, I like that. 60. Yeah, that's way better. Oh yeah, that ended up looking cool. And then we can come out here with it. Yeah, we'll do something like this. I don't even know if this would be appropriate for smoke, but I kind of like it. Yeah, adding that alpha to it helped. We'll go 50. Yep, that's way better. Because now you can kind of see the darkness of the night through the smoke, which makes more sense. So the house is what needs our immediate attention. And I put this stupid little pipe on there, but now that I've had it, I just don't know if that's doing it, you know? Got a lot of them finding ones. It's hard to find, yeah. And you know, the thing that sucks there is like everybody responds to medication differently. So what could work great for one person may not work for you at all, unfortunately. So you just gotta try stuff out until you find something that kind of works. Guess I need to make more houses. Boy, I suck at it. This looks like, I think I probably do a better house than this when I was in like 5th grade, you know what I mean? It's like I look at this and I totally struggle with how to detail this. I think the top would almost be like slapboard, maybe? And the bottom is going to be... Yeah, I'll get it. It's just like right now my brain receptors aren't seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be able to really visualize what I'm doing. And right now my brain's looking at this and it's rearing backwards. It's not going forward. That's what I think I'm going to do, because I kind of messed up the same thing, and I think she's right. Definitely more wood, like a log cabin in the woods. So. And then I want to clean these up. This was a quick throw down. It's supposed to be like paving stone. I just wasn't happy with that. And the door, not nearly enough detail. Because I was thinking about... Let's try it. We're going to root the owl together. Thought about just taking this and throwing it on there, and I may draw something completely new. I don't know, but I want to do something there on the door. You know, give it some sort of character and detail. What was it? That doorknob, way too freaking big. And then that stoop. This was quite a messy picture. Now I know why I wasn't happy with it all in all. I feel like it was obviously rushed, but definitely needed some attention. And the trees, this is what's killing me. Like, I went for like dark trees, but then I looked here, the way that the trunks cut into the grass, just way too, yeah. Were you trying to link something, Shadow? I think I have linking turned off. And I'll be honest, I'm not even quite sure how to turn it on. I may have to look at that. Alright, okay, so I'm really happy with the sky. I'm happy with these trees. Other than the base at the roots here. I'm going to have to work on that. Finally, let me know when you go to link it if it deletes it or not, because I want to say that I turned linking off. I could be entirely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I did. And I'll be honest, I don't know how to freaking give somebody permission to link. I'd have to play with it. I did kind of a blind setup for Twitch when I started, because I had no idea what I was doing and I didn't really have anything to compare it to. So I just kind of set it up haphazardly. Alright. House. Alright, let's try this. Let's just try this. We can do rounded rectangles, right? I'm curious what this would even look like if I were to... Oh, this is behind. Okay. I want to see what it would look like if I just scatter some of these, almost like popsicle sticks. You know what I mean? Yeah, do that. And then I'll experiment one day, because I honestly do not even remember how to allow someone to link. I'm going to have to play with that. Because it's like it's... I'm pretty sure that I disabled it. That literally looks like popsicle sticks, doesn't it? It looks like a freaking popsicle stick house. Who would guess that a house would give me so much freaking heartburn? Oh boy. And then I have this cauldron that I have to... Should be permanent in their name, but I'm terrible as a Twitch mod. Hey, that's more information than I had. Trust me. Is that... Well, here, I'm going to try it. Let me try that and see if that actually works. Because I'm curious if that does. Because everybody in here, usual, regular folks, says not like a... Can look like a complete moron in front of everyone else. I'm just wondering, will it, like, say that I've given them unrecognized command? Should be... I may have... And I may be totally wrong. I may not have even turned it off, but something's telling me that I disabled it. I am almost positive that I did. Maybe if I go into my dashboard, it will show me, like, how to do that. I could always Google it. Settings. Permissions. People who can manage your channel. Oh, this must be where you do, like, mods and stuff? You gotta head out? Okay, no problem. I really appreciate you stopping by. Good to see you. Thank you, thank you. And good luck on your trip and dropping the kid off and everything. And I hope, if I don't see you, have a good week. Good luck with the remodel. And I hope all goes well for you. I really do. That can be stressful, so I hope it's enjoyable. Maybe I should call this Learning Twitch. Since I have no freaking idea what I'm doing. Configure moderation options for your viewers. Permissions. I got no freaking idea. Is it under here? Oh, it let you link it? Hold on. Then maybe I didn't turn it off. Must not be. Cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I see the ones. So, what does that mean? Baba Yaga, what is that? I've never heard of that. I mean, I obviously see it's these houses' feet, which is pretty cool, but like, what is that? Is that a thing? I've never heard of that in my life. Call me crazy. It's actually really cool looking. I'm just curious what it specifies. It's like, that's pretty neat. It's like walking houses. Pretty rad. That must come from like an old fairy tale or something. Like maybe a, what do you call those? Grimm's fairy tales or something? Maybe it's from that. There's some really cool pictures on here. And they all seem to be like chicken feet. A lot of them seem to be chicken feet. Gotta be some sort of representation or something going on there that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Huh, that's fascinating. Never seen that before. How you doing, Bork? I see you there again. So, you just helped me out with something, Shadow. I need to figure out how to disable links first. And then secondly, once I figure out how to disable links, I need to figure out how to grant people permission. And that might be something I can... Because I think that's how most people do it, isn't it? They like disable them all together, and then they just give people permission as they need it. I think I'm pretty right there. Excuse me. So I did export this, right? Yes. That way I can upload it to Instagram and Twitter later. We got that. Got that little fella. Got that little fella. Okay. Hey, what's up? How you doing? That'll work right there, right? How's it going tonight, Wizard? I'm currently doing some different drawings. Doing a little spider revenge thing, and I finished this up last night. It's kind of a strange, I'm not even quite sure what to call it. I called it the draining. And then this was a 1 hour one sketch that I had done on a friend of mine's stream, and I'm coming back and trying to clean it up and process it a little better, give it a little better, cleaner look. Some streamers, what experience they had in the past. Well, granted, I don't have, a ton of followers or anything. I've not had any problems with people spamming, like, links. I haven't had problems with people, being... So, I mean, I've got links enabled. So I'm assuming that if I ever do have a problem with that, then I'll just have to kind of go from there. I just noticed, like, Galen, I think he has links disabled, and then grants permission to them as needed. Spoilers, I don't care if Chewbacca died, bro. Spoilers for, I'm assuming you mean Star Wars? No spoilers here. Haven't seen it. It's live. I'm going to see it. I've already seen some of the spoilers. They don't really bother me a whole heck of a lot. It's one of those things like, we live in an age where it's kind of hard to go without spoilers. Yeah, Chewie. My wife loves Chewie. Loves Chewie. We went to Disney World a couple weeks back, and she got to take her picture with Chewie. She was beside herself. Okay, let's get back to this. So currently I'm trying to clean up this house and make it look better. It was neat because I've not seen my wife starstruck before like that, you know? So it was interesting to see her quite that starstruck. You can put it up in links in the stream, but no one else can see the link in the chat, but he can. Oh. Yeah, I need to look into that. It's one of those things I haven't really taken the time to do. I do need to do it, though. We were talking about links, allowing people to link in your chat, in your Twitch chat. I currently have it enabled. But the thing is, we're just considering, like, what are the best options there? Disabling it and then giving people permission, leaving it on, letting people ask for permission, just kind of talking about the pros and the cons, and, you know, what some other streamers do that I follow. I think I'm going to go with, like, a brighter yellow for the doorknob. I had the doorknob the same color as, like, that. This is family friendly? Yeah. I try to keep it family friendly, yes. As much as possible. I have a 6-year-old. She's not here right now. But there are times that, you know, if someone's watching with kids. Not that I'm perfect by any stretch of the imagination, because I am not. I don't think any of us are. But I try to as much as best I can. I think that should be on top of that. Okay. So how you doing tonight, Wizard? Pretty good? I need to root that window there. It does time to time, but for the most part I try to keep it pretty family friendly. Because I know that, you know, I'm in the same boat having a child. I know how it is. I'm trying to go back and group some of this stuff up now that I've, you know, that way I've got sections of things that I can move. I'm drawing some things. Oh, cool. Cool. What are you working on? If you don't mind me asking. So there's a couple key points in this picture that I want to fix. First, I think the grass is too green. I think it's too neon. I don't like the way that the trunks of those trees in the rear cut straight into the grass. The color separation there isn't good. I think I'm gonna focus on the grass for now. I think maybe once I get the grass where I want it, maybe it will. Let's do this. And then we'll step these back. I'm going to go to 20 on this. So we'll go back. Yep. And then over here, we'll go to, I don't know, 16? Yeah, that's better. Middle night. Oh, cool. Cool. Feel free to share any progress or anything you have. I don't think I've ever tried to draw. I have a in progress folder. Let's look at that. I don't know if any of you follow or play D&D. There's a group that plays D&D called Acquisitions Incorporated. They're on Penny Arcade. I love watching them. I used to play D&D a lot when I was a kid. Anyways, one of the characters on there is Jim Darkmagic. So I drew that today at work, kind of screwing around. And so this is Omen Drawn, who's one of the other characters in that series. I'm going to draw him and I'm going to draw the rest of these characters. But there's typically how they show his character, Jim Darkmagic. So I kind of do that today, screwing around. And the dove is the funny thing there is that he constantly pulls doves out. Like, that's his big thing as a wizard when he's playing D&D. And then yeah, I drew this screwing around at work one day, and it just lost me. I don't even know what I was going for. I was doing like some sort of a dude hanging on the side of a cliff, and this was just a total sketch. And I just didn't like it. It was just not, I don't know what it was, but I kept it because I wanted to come back to it. There were some things I liked, like I liked his beard and stuff. There was a lot about the picture I just couldn't dig. Like your drawing style. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, I've got a lot of different things. A lot of little things I'm working on. I've been messing with some low poly stuff, which is more like really true flat stuff. Like this here, which is really super flat, super clean. This is a totally different style. I don't normally do it. I'm not very good at it. I'm just kind of learning as I go. And so I thought these arms looked pretty cool, and I wanted to play around with, like, you know, shooting fire or flames or something like that. And I was shooting with like color differentials and things like that, just kind of getting a feel for what I could do with it. And then that kind of led into this guy, which is a direct extension of this guy and this guy. And again, just playing around. I'd never done low poly, so for me this was total experimentation. But I was happy with the outcome. A couple things I would have done a little differently, so it was kind of a learning thing. But I do like this. It is a different art style. And I think it, you know, some people are going to love it, some are going to hate it. But all in all, I learned quite a bit doing it. Let's see what else I got here. I sketch all the time, just little things. I was doing this the other day, just playing around. I think everybody can kind of get a sense of what that is. It was just a little island with some waves and a tree. I don't really know where I was going with it. But, you know, I was just kind of moving in that direction. I doodle a lot, and I find myself doodling, and then I don't ever finish it. Like this is... Wizard, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Very, very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. These are some flat characters, obviously, but they're like a whole bunch of faces. And what I do with this file is I just tend to open it and just kind of screw around with just different things in general. You know, like this guy was experimenting with making a scar on the face, shading under the eyes, making him look very menacing. And then, you know, here, I don't know what the heck that is. And this was like a little mask robber guy. You know, I do a lot of experimenting and a lot of playing around. And what I tend to do is just kind of start making shapes the way that I draw. And I just keep like adding up, you know, keep adding shapes. Yeah, this is my sketch folder. And some of these are, you know, you want to go back one day and clean them up. Like I was screwing around with this and I was going to do like a Merry Christmas thing, like a little kid looking up at a tree. But it was kicking my butt. Like I was trying to draw it, and no matter what I did, I just couldn't get the vibe or the feel that I wanted. And granted, it's nowhere near done, but it's like everything I did with this one was just not, I wasn't feeling it. It's just, I was having a really hard time with it. And so what I tend to do is I just shelve it, and then I come back to it later. You know? I hated this. I was trying to draw like a werewolf, I guess. And this is actually one of my earliest drawings, and I've never gone back to it. I just didn't like it. I was playing with shapes and just playing around with different things, and just really didn't like it. And I, you know, probably would have deleted it by now, but it's one of those things. Here I was messing around with more line stuff, so instead of just traditional flat, I was messing around with some edging, some line work, you know, like creating different different things, like this sword, and these were supposed to be like wrist cuffs, like a, you know, like you were looking at a warrior or something, like wristbands. So what I did is I went from a true flat to a flat with an outline, And then I kept adding detail, and I stair-stepped it. So flat, outlined, filled in, shading, and then detail. Because I just kind of wanted a perspective of starting, you know, what I could do with the differences in variation. And those are all the same exact shapes. It just shows you the level of work going from flat to full detail with shadow. And so it's kind of, I keep it just as a perspective to kind of give me some look at what I can do besides just flat. If I really wanted to go that heavy into detail like I did with the sword and stuff. The thing with this kind of stuff is I find like adding all this detail, it takes a ton of time. And then these were just like test things, making a little scared dude, just playing around. Team whoop. Yep. Very much so. Very much so. I would agree with you on that. And that's kind of what I was going for there. But it's just kind of, you know, one of the things. Maybe one day I'll reopen it and I'll start screwing around with it again. You know, hard to say. And then here's all the stuff I have drawn. I made this for my daughter. Did you ever see the Christmas ornament that I made, Shadow? Did I show you that? Let me open that up. So where the heck is that? So I drew this here. My daughter is a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan. So I drew this in an ornament for her. Hang on, I'll grab it real quick. Hold on 1 second. Well, what I did was I ran it through my 3D printer. So there it is. And then what I did was I tied ribbon on it. And now it hangs on the Christmas tree. And it actually turned out really slick. Because I printed it 1/4 inch thick. And, you know, that's the finished product. I mean, and it literally looks just like it. And I made that for my daughter for Christmas. One of her Christmas presents. And the detail was spot on. I mean, it looked really, really cool. Actually, I'm going to keep this right here because I know that a couple of people, hey, buddy. I know Manus wanted to see it. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was really happy with it. My daughter loved it, and it's probably a little hard to see it, but it's cut out, you know. Obviously, the places you see in the drawing that aren't filled are all they pass through. So it actually printed out, and it looks amazing on the tree. I was really happy with that. My doggy. What's up, buddy? You want some more food? Don't look me in the ear. But I draw all kinds of stuff. And, you know, whatever I'm really in the mood for. Some of my earlier stuff. Come here. Have you seen my dogs? Come over here, Odie. Come here. This is one of my dogs. They're Great Danes. I have 2 of them. This is Odin. And then Bobo, he's on the couch. Now this is, his head is bigger than, he's taller than I am. And I'm 6'1". He's probably about 6 foot, and here's Bo. See, we have 2 of them. So this one here, he's probably about 6'2" when he stands up, and he's about 6 foot. 6'1" when he stands up on his hind. They're big dogs. What's up, buddy? Yeah, they're my boys. They're my babies. Alright, let's get back to this witch house. Gotta get my brain right. What am I gonna do with this? I feel like if I get the detail up here done first, then it will kind of roll down into the house. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'll figure out what I want to do when I get down there. And you know what? I'm not liking that window. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to rotate it like that. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Okay. So, Let's experiment. I think this should be 2 different pieces. I think this should be 2 different pieces of wood. What I'm going for there is something like this, and we'll go slightly darker. You got beer there? No, it's a Monster Energy. If I drink beer right now, I'm going to sleep. Y'all won't have a stream anymore. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. I get up really early in the mornings. So it's, for me, it's, let's go like this. I'm starting to kind of get a vibe for what I want to do. I get up real early. I get up at like 5 every morning, to go to work. So for me, I've been up now a long time. So for me, if I drink beer or something like that, man, I'm gonna be out. Like dead asleep. I got an idea on how to kind of layer this to make it look more, yeah, see, that already looks better. And then I think this one would be a slight different color, maybe like slightly lighter. Yeah, that's already adding more depth. You see that? And you could essentially do the same thing here if you wanted to. You could do something like this. This board would need to be a lot smaller, I think, though, like this. If you get to a point with your drawing, you want to drop a link, like an Imgur link or something, feel free. I'd be glad to look at it. Not allowed to work? Ah. I hear ya. Hey man, it pays the bills. It's... Do you have a disability, or are you just... Yeah, see, that already looks tremendously better right there. And what if I did this? Not sure this is going to work. Thinking about making the sides of the house like beams. Yeah, I did both, yeah. That can suck, man. Sometimes I feel like I should. Because I'm getting old and rickety. But, yeah, gotta pay the bills. I'm slowly stacking this up, trying to add little details as I go. Trying to almost build it up, you know what I mean? Like, layer a little bit at a time. It's definitely starting to have more character already. Because it almost looks like beams all the way around. Alright, so... Now what we need to do is definitely need some... Would it be odd to do this here with the same stones that these were? To do like this brick pattern? Let's look at something here real quick. Here's what I want to do. I want to move these out. What if I do this? I'm gonna try something. This may not look right, but I want to see what we get when we do this. I'm gonna try to cheat. Is this long enough? Nope. when I did work, there were times I came. Work too much, yeah. You know, the thing with work is, like, let's do this. It's something you have to do if you can. And so for me, that looks pretty cool. I'm thinking this might work, actually. Let's try it. I don't know if these stones are going to be too small. I'm not quite sure what this is going to do. Let's, y'all tell me what you think as I'm doing this, because here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to copy, and then watch this. Opinions? Because I'm seeing what would need to happen now. I feel like that, and this would need to come to this color. Now I feel like this would come in here, something like this. Let's try this out. Let's take this. See, I love working in vector. This is one of the reasons that I am so fond of vector work, is because I don't want to say vector isn't drawing, because obviously it is. I mean, you have to have some concept of drawing in order to make this work, right? But the thing that's nice about vector work is you're basically manipulating shapes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's really a process of like taking shape, manipulating them, and then creating more shapes. Is really what it boils down to. It's not really about how well you can draw. It's more about like concept, taking a concept and then shaping it. It's really the best way I can explain it. And I think that's what I love about vector work, is that you're not. It's like when you're drawing on paper, you know, of course you can erase it and everything, but it's so quick to change a concept in vector, where you just can't do that, you know? It didn't. The red brick did not work. And see, like this stoop here, I'm thinking needs to be, well, nope. God. I'm trying to fix everything in this drawing one thing at a time. And Wizard, just so you know, this is from there's another streamer that me and Shadow both follow, and he does a weekly 1 hour, one sketch, 1 hour. So you get him 1 hour to draw whatever the topic is. Well, this week's was Witch House, and I only actually had about 30 minutes to do it. And so when I did it, I just wasn't happy with the product. So now I'm coming back and I'm attempting to clean it up a little bit. So I'm slowly making progress. It's slowly looking a lot better. Yeah. Yep, he's great. He's actually the reason I'm doing Twitch. I didn't even really realize, call it naive, call it whatever, but I didn't even really realize there were people on Twitch doing art. And then one day I happened to be on Twitter and I ran into Adam streaming something, or posting a link about streaming. And I kind of went, huh. And I started looking into it and I was like, well, you know, I sit around and draw stuff anyway, so I could probably, stream my stuff just in case anybody wanted to see it. And that's kind of how I got started, was just kind of goofing off. And actually right now what I'm doing, something I've been doing for a while now, is I co-stream to YouTube at the same time. I stream to both Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. Now that'll have to stop if I become a Twitch affiliate, because Twitch doesn't allow you to upload. Well, you have to sign an agreement that says you won't stream in two places at the same time. So what I'll have to do is use OBS to capture the video as I do it live, and then upload it 24 hours later to YouTube. But that's my plan. Is, you know, actually co-stream it like that. And so far, the YouTube thing, I mean, I didn't have any sort of YouTube content, so it's actually building my YouTube content as I go. Haven't had a whole lot of input from it, but figured why not. Alright, so I want to do something totally different up here. I'm kind of getting a bored vibe, but I need to make this right. Let's go here, and then we're gonna... Sorry, I'm just rambling on. What? I know that kind of looks washed out right now. In fact, let's do this. Let's make this like a... There we go. That way we can really see these boards. So my idea here is I want to take wood like this. I'm kind of getting a... This would be different size and shape boards of slightly different coloring, if that's making sense. I would stream it called. Oh, cool. I love drawing. Like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like a medicine for me, you know. It's just that rehabilitate. I don't know. It just, after a long day, it just feels good to sit down and draw something, good or bad, or you know. And I'm just glad that people want to tune in and watch me draw anything. Honestly, I wasn't sure when I started Twitch how it would go, but for me, it was just get it out there and see what happens. I'll tell you, the big thing I was worried about was my voice. I'm sure you've noticed, I have a very deep voice. And this is my normal voice. This isn't a microphone doing this. So I was a little afraid that people wouldn't like the tone of my voice and everything, because it is so deep. But figured, hey, if I make good enough content and people want to watch me, by all means. I don't know if this is gonna work, so for now we're just gonna kind of copy these over, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna kind of get a good visual as to what this is looking like. Because it's kind of hard with that weight right now to see if it's looking like popsicle sticks or if it actually looks like something. I'm still nervous to stream. You know, the way I look at that, Shadow, is, you know, I was the same way. I wasn't sure how people would perceive it. I wasn't sure if people would even want to tune in, you know. And for me, it was just one of those things that was like, screw it. What do you have to lose? You know, I mean, if people want to watch you, great. If they don't, great. I mean, it's one of those things like, don't be too scared to try, because, you know, you never know until you try, kind of thing. And I know that's very cliche, but it's true. Like, you know, you're not going to know until you give it a go, you know. And for me, it's just fun, and I like sharing art with people. And my eventual goal, I don't know if I'll get here, but my eventual goal is I'd like to try to do some tutorials instead of just live streams. But I know jack all about video editing, so I don't really know how I would go about making, you know, I don't really know about making an actual polished video, like to upload to YouTube. The only thing I have on YouTube thus far are like live streams, which are copies of this. So I really don't know a whole lot about making an actual video and putting it out there. I mean, I'm sure that I could look it up and figure something out, but my goal is eventually I would like to do some tutorials, just in case anybody wants to learn how I do what I do, you know. And I don't mean paid stuff. I mean, you know, free. For folks that just want to try to do drawings. I'm gonna have to cut that piece off. Because the cool part is, like, I use the software that I use. Hold on. Is really cheap. But besides that, I use, there we go. I know of some free software stuff that people can use, which will do a lot of what I'm doing right now, completely free. That Affinity Designer, and it costs nothing, and it's open source. Well, I shouldn't say open source. It's being published and produced by a company, and it is completely free, and it will stay completely free. And people can do this very stuff with that software. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah. If you ever do want to try it out, man, just ask. I'm sure any one of us would be more than happy to try to steer you in the right direction. I mean, it's, you know. So far, for me, it's been really rewarding, and it's been fun. Just kind of getting it out there, you know. You could try changing the color of the lower part of the house to a bluish color. You talking about these bricks here? The actual stones here? In this wall here? Are important? Rather than matching them exactly to this color? Try changing the color of the lower part of the house to a bluish color. You mean the mortar? You can get crazy with it. Oh, the foundation, the actual physical wood. Yeah, we can see the way I have this is these stones you see here are actually child objects of this shape you see here, right? So, like, I can change that image without affecting the colors of the stones. So, you know, I could come in and, you know, get really wild with it if you really wanted to. That actually looks kind of better right there, even. Under the house, these here, these fellas. Almost like a stone. Oh, these here. These things. The pathway. Yeah. I'm going to switch stream. I put up a poll on my Twitter just to see who would like to see it went up to 100%. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, honestly, just give it a go. And you just try, man. I mean, don't worry about it, you know. And I know that's easier said than done with anxiety and things like that. I get it, but just take it easy and just have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna find people that join are people who want to watch what you're doing. I've yet to have anybody weird, mean, malicious, anything like that. So you tend to get people that want to join you, you know what I mean, and they want to see what you're making. So that would be my suggestion to you. Just think about it, and if it's something you want to do and you have any questions, like I said, I'm sure anybody would be willing to help. Okay, Wizard, so are you talking about these stupid things? I'm confused. Are you talking about the pathway, or are you talking about this support being here under the house? Because these are ugly. They look like distorted jelly beans. I'll admit it. And we are going to be fixing those very soon. And don't forget, guys, we have this cauldron that I made. And I had no freaking where to put it. So my goal was to kind of put it in the yard like this or something. I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do with this, but I want to have it somewhere, and I want to try to build a small fire underneath of it, maybe like a little simmering fire, and then have that kind of just stewing off to the side. And then I'd like to put a cat in here somewhere as well, like a little kitty cat. And I think this would be more like this. Since obviously I don't think you'd have the support. So down here. Okay. Are you talking about a blue like that kind of? To kind of break up the wood a little bit? Almost like a stone support down there? Not a bad idea. And hang on. It's going to change for a second. Because I kind of like that there. Yep, I got it. Cool. So I'm assuming this would be kind of a dark light. Because it's not obviously going to be as bright as the downstairs. And then this is going to be bright like the rest of the house, right? And then we should have as a second step, maybe? I don't know. Let's play with this for a minute. And then we'll do slightly darker in the rear. And I can tell you this, Shadow, if you ever do stream, I'll be more than happy to come watch it. I'll give you some advice and some pointers, and I'll be glad to come check it out. Okay, so that looks better with the two-step. A little bit better look to it. Are the windows too bright? And I could totally get way too in-depth with this and go in and start adding detail to all these boards and everything, but I don't think that's necessary. The one thing I think I would do, though, is I think I would do something like this. I want to see if this even works for what I'm thinking. Y'all tell me what you think here. Because you know how wood is going to have, like, difference in patterns, right? Like, it's going to have, you're going to have varying color boards. Right? Like, broken up, if you will. Not all of it's going to be. So we'll take that third color there, that fourth color of wood here, and we'll do like this. Yeah, I kind of like that. Kind of like that a lot, actually. Yeah, it definitely, it almost has a wood floor effect, that staggered wood. There was a lot of streamers made a stream. Yeah, man. I mean, I find it fun. I really do. I've had no bad experiences with it thus far. And that's not to say that people don't have bad experiences, but so far for me, it's been very enjoyable. Which one needs to move? I'd say that needs to move. And then, I don't know, we'll go with this one. Whoops. Yeah, we'll go with this one. And I'm just kind of doing this haphazardly, guys. I'm trying to get somewhat of a wood pattern. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, okay, so I like that bottom support. I like the steps. I like the door. Everything looking good. The windows almost seem a little too mega bright for me. Maybe it's just my eyes. Maybe more like a natural warm yellow light, kind of like that. I'm thinking, you know. Because otherwise, I think it's just too freaking daggone. Whoops, that is not what we wanted. Almost back to the color it was originally, but I think that one color was just too vibrant. And you know what I think it was too, is that color in the windows was very similar to the color of the stars in the sky. So they kind of didn't play well together. Yeah. Okay. Now, I don't know if I want to use this. Y'all tell me what you think. I had this like over here, almost like a wood stove or like a pipe sticking out of the side of the house. Does anyone have any? I mean, I guess if I really wanted to do this, I could do something like this. Let me show you. I could extend it out more like this. Don't tell me what you think. Give me a second. I got a plan. I just don't know if it's going to work. Let's copy the smoke. Because this would be a secondary smokestack. So this would almost be like it. Okay, hang on a sec. This, and then back. Oop. Back. I'm trying to make this look right without overdoing it. Where would the smoke be coming out of this? I think it'd be... I don't know. Let's look at it and see if it even... So my thought there was almost like a stove, like an old wood stove, like a wood pipe vent coming out of the side of the house. You know what I mean? As like a secondary smoke section. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to overdo it. I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want it to be too much. I was trying to give it a secondary detail there. So now, any votes on the jelly beans in the yard? I hate them. But I want some sort of a path. So we have two options here. Let's take the jelly beans off over here to the side for a minute. Now, what we can do is one of two things. We can come and we can do like a... We can do... Bear with me a minute while I try to get something down here that makes sense to me. And I promise, as soon as it kind of makes sense to me, it hopefully will make some sense to you. We're going to pick a kind of a default color for right now. Alright, we're going to combine this, we're going to cut it, and we're going to paste it in. Now, I think everyone can kind of get what I'm going for there. But if not, tell me. We're going to put these trees here, almost like they're, you know, like the path is clear. I think that looks better than the jelly beans effect, and what we can do is to give this more of a natural look, we can do something like this. More square shape, rather than rounded down the hill, more like a straight. So, oh, you like that there? Now, there's something else I want to toy with. These trees. I like the darkness of them. I like how they don't look, you know, your normal green and brown. But I want them to have a little more... I want these trunks to go into the ground a little bit more. So I gotta figure out how I want to do that, or what my plan is there. I'm gonna have a lot of pictures to eat. I'm just leaving this right now as a guideline. I'm not sure what I want to do there yet. I'm trying to see what my eyes are gonna do with it. Yeah, and that's a possibility. Because this thing, I really like the idea of it, but the more I look at it, I just don't think it fits. It's like, everywhere I put it, other than right there, I'm just not happy with it. I mean, does it make sense that she would have a cauldron out front of her house? A witch? Is that a logical thing? Or does that seem silly? I think this is too dark. That's better. That's more of a natural brown. And then we can go back and touch it up and add some details. Because I don't think it would be so clean cut. So for example, I'll just show y'all what I could do is I could do some stuff like this. And this is very quick, so bear with me for a minute. But you could do stuff like this. Just to give you a quick example of some things that I could do, so it doesn't look so symmetrical. This way it looks a little more natural. And then we could do some small, like, well, we could try to do some like small stones in the path here and there. Obviously, I mean, I'd have to spend some time on it, but it at least gives you a concept of what it could look like. That looks horrible, but... And I feel like this side would look a little bit different than that side. You wouldn't want both sides to look exactly the same. You'd want the path to kind of be overdone a little bit like that, I think. Try with little stones. Yeah, that's a little too sharp right there, I think. Let's turn that into a rounded and give it just a little less of a bevel. Phone, give me a second. I'm trying to make sure. I told my wife to call me or text me if she needed me. Hold on, guys. No. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I think so. Now, what to do with the darn thing, though? So... I think this would be on top of this. Because smoke out of a stovepipe like that, it wouldn't be like a chimney, where it would only come out of the center. Smoke coming out of a stovepipe would come out of the entire cylindrical bottom of the stovepipe. You know what I mean? At least in my head it would. I'll leave it there and see what it does. Okay, so back to this fella. So, okay. We're going to get rid of that. That was a concept image I was pulling from. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to experiment with this over here on the white. And then if we like what we see, we can always copy it back over. But what I want to do is I want to experiment with some bubbles coming out of this. Because you know how like a boiling cauldron would kind of have this bubbly, crazy effect going on, right? Like not just... Okay, so we're going to take those, put them to the back. And y'all got to bear with me for a minute here because this takes a minute to complete what I'm trying to do here. It's... Alright. We're going to put a background shape color there. We'll do that. I know this looks crazy. Just give me a minute. Unfortunately, this is a process. Okay. We're going to turn them white. We're going to turn the opacity down. Like, let's say we'll go with 3. Okay? Now, in order to get the look we're going for, we're going to need to take the same shapes, copy them and paste them in place and give them no fill. Now, and sorry, I'm kind of talking myself through this. What color do we want to make this? Purple? I think purple's a good color for this. We'll do like a dark purple, okay? Now, We'll do like this. Green? Okay, we can do green. Let's do like 20%. We'll go with like that. But I don't know how well that's going to show against the grass. See, when we move that back over here, I don't think green's going to show against that grass well at all. I think we'll go with like a dark purple to start. Okay, now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take, to make these look like bubbles, we're going to turn this down to 30% opacity. I know this probably doesn't make much sense right now, just trust me. It's coming. Okay, then we're going to paste it inside of this object. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to create like the reflection of the bubble. Now, there's one way to do that. The other way to do that is going to be like this. If we move these out of the equation for now, we can do an opaque white shape. Let's say 30 again. And I think this is actually going to look better. Yep, this is going to look more natural, I think, for what we're wanting. And we're going to go with 40% on this. Yep. Okay, so that's kind of the proof of concept that we want. And all we got to do is take this guy, copy it over, and do some readjustments. And then we can always do some resizing, flipping, things like that, to try to rotate things around and see what we get. Now, you can see what that's starting to do. We're starting to kind of get that bubbly effect going on here. And see, what I would even do is copy this over here and do a really small one. Like a little tiny bubble up in here. And up in here as well. You see that? Now, that already, to me, looks a whole lot better. So, what we need to do now is create. We're going to make that one giant fill. Get rid of those. Group that into one solid lump. Alright. We need fire under this thing. And that's going to be tough because fire for this is, I want to see if I can just do something like this and get away with it. Okay, so we have that. Alright, gonna group it, that way we're not screwing it up. Whoop. We're gonna this needs to come to the front. I want to signify that this fire is underneath of it, like inside. You guys tell me if this is looking crazy, okay? Because this is all experimental for me. Alright, now we're going to group this as an entirety. And then we're going to get rid of this. So then, if we do this, what do y'all think of that? Is that a hit? Cool. Thinking maybe we should go over here with it. That way the purple really sticks out. Does that look out of place over there like that? Or does that make sense? Because to me it kind of makes sense. Like off to the side a little bit. And then the purple, the purple of the bubbles really sticks out. Because there's no purple anywhere else in here. Looks good, yeah. Fire looks cool. It looks very flat. It fits the theme. Okay, so things are looking good. The only thing that's offending my eyes right now, other than more detail, are those freaking trees. These, right here. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. These trunks. Right here. That is just really killing my eyes. So we're getting rid of these jelly beans. Well, maybe not. Maybe we can do these. Maybe we can do something like this. Let's try this. Oh, get rid of that. I want to try something. I'm not sure what this is going to look like or if it's even going to be necessary, but we could do something like this. And we could give it a slight rotate to really give it a little bit of a topsy. Like mess it up a little bit. Kind of a... Alright, let's cut them. Put them in here. You know what that reminded me of? Like fruitcake. And I hate fruitcake. So that is not doing it. Okay, let me think about that some more. Okay, so we got the wood stove. Looking cool. I think all in all, the picture's really starting to come... Ooh, you know what? Look, this guy here, this owl. He's looking pretty crappy. Well, no, I don't think it's... You know what? I don't think it actually looks crappy. I think what it is for me is his coloring is too dark. I think we need to... do something like this. And then do... Y'all have to forgive me. I don't even think I know what an owl would even, like, look like in terms of... You know what I could do to make him stand out. Hold up. I'm kind of liking that better. Because there he at least... You know what I mean? It's like... Maybe I just need to work on the coloring of him, but I do like him there better. And that frees up a star over there, so that just looks better all the way around. Okay. Well, we got the pot, we got that going, so now the trees are really the only thing. The trees almost look lazy at this point, because they don't look... to me, they don't look like they have enough detail, or they don't look busy enough, like there's enough going on, maybe? That might be the problem. I'm looking up some reference details on some trees, trying to see what I can find. Yeah, sometimes I stress out a little bit over, like, perfection. You know, I really want it to look good. We'll try that. That's not a bad suggestion. Let's see what we get. That one just looks too... I'm trying to prevent overlapping of colors. I want that tree to stand out completely from that tree, you know what I mean? In terms of, I don't want the same color trees touching anywhere in the same. You know, that is better, honestly. I'll tell you right now, that's better. That's not nearly as offensive on the eyes to me. It definitely has more of a finished look to it. Yeah, definitely better. Yeah, no, good suggestion. Still not 100% like, you know what I could do. I just thought of it. Y'all tell me what you think of this. Because what's killing me is this straight line right here. How it just ends. Because that doesn't look natural, right? What if we do this? Bear with me a minute. And it's going to be a very minor detail. You see that? Does that... I mean, that's not something that I think most people would even notice. But to me, it just makes it look a lot less choppy. You know what I mean? It looks a little more like it's resting in the grass. And we could borrow it, bring it over here, and give it this color. Okay. Yep, I like that. And I'm going to get rid of these because they're irritating me. Now. So it's all definitely looking better. The whole picture is looking better. Alright. Different. Looking at references images real quick, just trying to see what I could do. I don't know how this would go over. Yep, I like that. And then for here, reduce the size, have it come out of there more. Yeah, I like that. That's such a small detail, that grass, but to me, it just helps the house kind of look more grounded to the earth, not so choppy. Yeah, I like that. And I mean, you could really go crazy with that. I mean, you could come in and you could try to add stuff like that in here, like if you wanted to like twist this around and stuff, you could. You know, you could do stuff like that. Let's say you spun it around. You could more circular than wavy, like this, you mean? More, we could do, well, hold on. We could do this. Watch this. We'll go like this, and we will bend it. Yeah, I like it. And I mean, you could really get crazy with the grass if you wanted to, and you could add all kinds of details in there, and you could add different coloring, and you could do some crazy stuff. But I don't want to get too carried away with details because I'm trying to keep, you know, I don't know. Yeah, and I thought about that, but then the only problem you're going to have there is you're going to have a clear set. Like, let's say we tried it there. You know what I mean? You're going to have a very clear separation unless you went like this in front of that. Like that, you know what I mean? You'd have to paste in place and then like this, you know? And then these here, I'm not really feeling those on the path. Pretty cool though. I'm definitely liking where it's going. It has a much more polished look. Everything about it looks better. Like, I would be happy with posting this image now. You know what I mean? Like, not... To me, it doesn't look hodgepodge anymore. It has a much more finished appearance that I would be proud of putting somewhere. I want to add a couple more stars in there. Yeah. Because to me, those stars, they really stick out from the background for me. Missing something? To me, it's this path. The path is missing something to me. It just looks too simple. If that makes sense? How about this? Hold on. Trying something here. I want to see if we can pull this off. That looks cool. I like adding a few more trees in there. Gives it a little more pizzazz. I want a bigger star up there. Because I wanted, the original intention here was to have it look kind of like a dark forest. You know what I mean? Without going too crazy on the forest, because I don't want it to be so dark that it's unrecognizable or that things are ugly. So I wanted to keep it semi-clean. The path is killing me right now. The little rocks. That path is just not... How do I want to do that? Now, here's something we could do. This would be kind of cheating. Pushed just a little something. What if we did something like this? Is that grass recognizable? Yeah. It's definitely coming along, though. I mean, there's definitely more detail going on there. Well, I mean, there's always this option. What if we did and we tried to make like pieces of slate? And see, the thing is with this, is you're trying to... A lot of the image is flat, like really, really flat, and you're trying to transpose this 3D path onto it. And I think that's where it's losing me, is I feel like it's trying to do something that it shouldn't, I think, maybe, if that makes sense. But let's try something here. Let's go like this. This is where drawings tend to get a little picky, you know, is you're like, you can sit here and you can really overanalyze things to the point of just craziness. And I think that's where this is at right now, is I'm sitting here and I'm picking everything apart while it's looking better. Yeah, the slate not. What if we did small patches of dirt? Kind of like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this out. We're going to paste it on top. We're going to move it out. What if we did something like, this is going to be really quick, so bear with me. But what if we did something like that, and then we just kind of continued that out, almost like stones, but more like dirt with grass growing in the middle of it? What the hell is that? Oh, that's that grass we put in there. Let's undo all that for a second. We got to get that grass out of there with it. I didn't even think about that. Okay. So we are going to experiment here. And this may turn into rocks. And maybe this is what I was thinking when I was envisioning rocks. You know, something like this. Because then you could really get, you know, you know what? I could even be doing it like this with a stabilizer. This will work, right? Let's take the stabilizer off. We're just going to do something really quick. That way we can just get an idea of what it looks like. You know? And then we can kind of come back and... But that gives you a rough idea of kind of what... You know, and then you could scatter these into the stone coloring if you wanted to. Like, you could do this. Alright, if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it a little bit cleaner. I want to do it more like this, I think. Oops. I use the pencil a lot different than most people. For me, the pencil tool isn't just like drawing lines. Like, I actually create vector shapes with it. So what I do is I leave fill on instead of, I do no stroke. So it doesn't work like a normal pencil where you draw a stroke. What I do is I take the pencil and I create rough shapes. Like, let's say we made that right there, right? But then it actually has points because it's a vector shape. So then I can actually come in and manipulate these points like so. But that's how I use the pencil tool. I don't use it for just like lines like most folks do. I tend to get a little more creative with it. And I use it as an actual like fill tool. And I just make shapes with it. And it allows you to make some really neat custom shapes. If that makes sense. I mean, it should. I'm not even sure I'm going to like this. I'm just kind of like playing with it. Okay, so then we could take this guy and Man, this path is going to be the death of me. I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. It's funny how you can do a whole picture, you know, and then you get stuck on this one thing where it's just like, it gets in your head. I just need to come up with something that satisfies me. And you know what? I don't think it's gonna be this, because I'm looking at this and it's just not doing it for me. It's not. I think I like that, but I need to tweak it some more. There need to be some changes to it, but that's closer to my goal than what that other thing was. That other thing just wasn't hitting. It looked almost like leopard mark to me, like a leopard print. That just wasn't fulfilling. It up here it just wasn't working. Okay. I just need to make it. I mean, now I could get, you know, I could get really like I'll give you an example. I could do something crazy like this, and I know I could do it, but this is more three-dimensional, which is not what I'm wanting to do. But I could take and I could draw out a rock like this, right? Now watch this. I could come in with a black. Okay, and then I could come in with, say, a black, and I could shade the heck out of this thing, right? And make it look like a three-dimensional rock. But that's not the look that I'm going for. So it's like, see, and then I could come over here and I could do this in a white. You say, and then you're getting into more of like a three-dimensional rock, but that's not the original, that's not where I want to go with this. So it's kind of kicking my butt. I don't know. I don't know where I want to go with that, guys. I just don't know. Somebody's asking me a question over here. Hold on one sec. One-time purchase at $50. Well, I just want to see it complete. Yeah, you know, I've been there too, Shadow. I've totally been there. And you know what's funny is I find myself, the more I draw, like, you'll laugh at this. This morning I woke up. Sorry, somebody's asking me questions over there. So, I woke up this morning, and it was like the first thing that popped in my head was a drawing that I had been thinking about. And I had been, like, looking at, and it just filled my brain. And that was that spider drawing. This one. Here. It's like, for some reason, this was in my head. I don't know why. My assumption is I was dreaming this, and I didn't really realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had just kind of like, I don't know, but like I had been picturing this, and so when I got to work today, I started experimenting with this and drawing it, and this is what came out. Now, this wasn't exactly what I saw, but for some reason, I envisioned a kid hanging and a bug. And then this is where my brain took me to this. And it was just one of them things. It was different, but it worked. It worked. Okay, so you know what? I think what I'm gonna do, I almost feel like I should. Let's get rid of this second artboard. I don't feel like I need that anymore. What do you think? Come on, Shadow. I know you got some ideas there. There's got to be something. What about you, Wizard? Anything? Is there something I can do? And then the owl looks kind of sparse to me. What the hell does an owl look like? Well, it's funny. Have you looked up that game, Observer? Do you know what game I'm talking about? It's made by the same company that did Layers of Fear. It's like a horror game. That game is freaking worked. I mean, it is mental. Like, in probably not a good way. The game is really creepy, really freaky. And so I was playing that. And then I watched a couple episodes of Stranger Things. So it was kind of like this. It wasn't all horror, but it was like it put your brain in kind of a weird state where you're thinking about macabre kind of things like that. Yeah, Observer, it's different. It is really, really, it's not your jump scare scary. It's mental scary. Like the way they scare you in that game is different than a jump scare. It's creepy. It really is. Yeah. Good though. But it'll definitely screw with your mind in a serious way. I play it for small increments because of the way the game plays. It's very different. So I tend to break it into small segments. I don't play it all at once. But after a while, it kind of starts to make you, a little paranoid. I know I want rocks on that path, but I don't know how I'm going to do them without making them look funky. Because the only thing I can think of is doing like ovular shapes, like this. But then that just looks weird to me. What if let's try again. This is the closest. Yes, very much so, Wizard. Have you seen that game, Wizard? I'm gonna try something here, guys. Let's experiment. Let's see how weird we can get with this. It's gonna look really bad at first. I promise you, it's gonna look really bad. But I'm gonna kind of have an idea on what I can do here. Because I'm going for almost a flat effect, but I want to try to see if I can. We're going to worry about, it's going to be kind of hard to see this until I get the coloring and stuff right. But I promise I have some sort of an idea. Yeah. Yeah, I might do that. Because what I'm going to do, I want to get a layout down. Well, you know what? Let's go with this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of up and down scale this a little bit. We're gonna kind of go both ways with the coloring of this to see what we can do with this, because I like this one. To me, is just too light. So now technically we have 4 different-ish colors, kind of. I want 4 distinct colors. Okay, those are pretty distinct. So what we're going to do is we are going to kind of mix these up. We're going to go like this. We're going to take, we'll leave this dark. We'll make this color. We'll make this color. We'll go this color. This color. And we should start to see some sort of a pattern here where they kind of exist. And then I want to see what they look like. Sorry, my brain. Whoops. We want these to. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Oh, nope. It's not what I wanted. Is this, am I in there? Yeah. Okay. So, thoughts, opinions? What do y'all think? Would that, is that even going in the right direction, or does that look kind of like fruitcake? I don't like it. To me, it looks, what's the word? Looks kind of like a Willy Wonka, like a wallpaper or something. It's just not. That ain't it. That is not it. Okay. What if they just overlap the path like that? Not a bad suggestion. Architect on YouTube, he just said, what if we just did this? Because then the next thing would be taking like, and then, you know, you could do like varying color steps. So you can kind of like, you know, come up and down. What do you think, Shadow? Is that even, maybe we should, why don't we do this? Why don't we finish the path? Why don't we go ahead and finish it and even see what this is going to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this even, does this even look right? If that makes sense. Like, let's just get them in here, and then we can kind of get an idea of what the finished product would even look like to see if it's something that even makes sense. Because I'm struggling with it too. It's like my brain just isn't working with it. I don't know though. That looks like that might is it just me, or does that look like that might start pull together a little bit? And then maybe do like you were saying and add some you know, it's funny, the further we get down that path, I don't think it's terrible. The only thing I would do different now is like maybe some grass. You know, do some stuff like, oh crap, let's see, here, and then maybe go step one and see this is in front of that. So this is gonna be interesting layer because I want. You're gonna have to bear with me a minute. This is gonna get a little tricky because of the way I gotta do this. Because I'm dealing with so many stones here that you see that right there. That's kind of what I gotta go for. But then, how does something like that, does that make any sense? Or would this be the same color as this? Nope. Okay, what if we do this? What are you doing, Odie? What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? You excited? What are you doing? Oh my God! Stop! You're attacking me. Dog. I'm trying to. Oh, what are you doing, Bobo? Man, you guys want a snack or something? Is that what this is? It's a snack raid. Mm-hmm. So then, is this back one? So where is this on the? Holy crap! You see, this is where layers start to become a problem, because you have apparently this bottom here is in front of this, so all these are okay. Here's running these boys. Stop! You're crowding. You're crowding. Come on. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna cut all this, and we're gonna come on top of the mountain. And this is still on top. So then this, it's tricky, boys. This is tricky. It's tricky stuff. I'm just trying to get a proof of concept right now. I'm basically just trying to lay some stuff in here just to see if this would even work. If this is plausible. You know what I mean? Because this is tough. This is not easy. This is going to be the hardest thing in this picture. But it kind of works. So then what I'd have to do is this. Spin this around. Cut it. Paste it. Bring it all the way to the front. Here. Okay, now then chop it off. Yeah, like that. That makes sense. Okay, so thoughts? Anybody still with me? Through a bush. What are you talking about? Like over here in the grass somewhere? We could do a cutesy little bush. We could use the cloud tool to do that. So we could take like this. We can add bubbles. What's that? Take 24. And then we'll cut it. We'll paste it on top of this. And then we are going to chop it off. Watch, you'll see. I have a plan. Cut. This needs to be on top. That needs to be on the bottom. Okay, so let's. Okay. We're experimenting. This is like science fair stuff here. This is like proof of concept, you know? You don't really know what you're going to get here. I think like this, maybe? And I mean, you know, there's different ways to do a bush, clearly. This is just an example of one way to do it. And then you could do this in varying sizes in the yard, that kind of stuff like this. And then you could like come behind these trees and stuff and do a couple more. One over here. Isn't it fun when you've See, we all struggle with things. Like, I've never done any sort of scene like this, Shadow Wizard, ever. So this is one of those things, like, you're seeing me learn as I go. This is just a totally new, random thing for me. I do kind of like that, though. I do. It definitely adds a little more flair, and the path makes more sense. But you know what I think might be the problem here, guys? I'm thinking this brown might be the problem. I'm thinking it needs to be a little more neutral, like that. I feel like that brown was just too, friends are bugging me. I want to play games. My God, I'm drawing here. And then, we could do this. Hold on. This color is not that color, so you could even do something like this. You could turn it slightly. Come over here on this. You could even come over here like that. And, like, edge it. And then if you really wanted to, you could even come back here in this back area and make them really small. And go more of this shade so they are not so bright. And then take this, get down, flip it. Sorry, I'm talking to myself a lot here, guys. Nope, I'm not liking that grass bush, to be honest with you. But I do like the bushes that we added on the front. I think the detail definitely cleaned up. Alright, Wizard, thanks for stopping by, bud. I appreciate it. And thank you for the follow very much. I really, really appreciate it. Feel free to check me out anytime. I usually stream several times a week. So, thank you very, very much. Have a good night. And thanks for sticking through me on this. This has been kind of a painful process, so I really appreciate it. Alright, so looking at the picture now, what is the most offensive thing on there that you see? For me, it's that owl. I don't think I drew the owl right. I really don't think I drew the owl right. Because I clearly don't know what an owl is supposed to look like. And that would be why. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to copy him outside. We're going to tear him apart, and we're going to fix it. So an owl, his eyes are more on the inside of the head. And they're more full. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to be more like this. Oops. And then this is going to be more like this black fill. You have to bear with me. This is all learning as we go, bud. I feel like we're going to group and we're going to group. Alright, then we're going to take... Man, I don't even... Have you ever drawn an owl? It's one of those funny things, like you start thinking about it, it's like, God, I've never done that. Most of the owls I'm seeing, they have like these weird... They have like this, whatever this is. Let me see what you got there. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. That's real pretty. That's beautiful. I'm not gonna say I can't pull that off. But here, let me, the head just looks too damn round. Doesn't it? I think that's what it is. I think the head is too freaking round for me. I feel like the beak would be more like this. And then the body. And I think these would be this color to the back. I'm not going for perfect here. I'm going for, clearly you can tell it's an owl kind of thing. Looks better than it did though, right? Or am I just, am I delusional? Is the head still too... This is tough, man. There's some crazy looking owls you start looking on the internet. I mean, crazy looking. That's right, I remember when you did that one. See, the thing is, I don't tend to pull off as much detail as that when it comes to flat stuff. Let's do this. Let's type in scary owl. What the hell do we get? Oh, now that's interesting. Okay, hang on. Let's try this. That is fascinating. Okay. You're gonna have to bear with me a minute because I don't know what the world I'm doing here. Holy smokes. Alright, we're going to combine these to make one shape, because I think that might be causing a problem with the way it's trying to... We're going to go a little bigger on the beak, and a little thinner. Alright, now. Man, I don't know, but this is tough stuff. Okay, so if this was this, then this would be this. Those eyes aren't doing it for me. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in these. Okay. And we're going to add, go slightly lighter. You can see where this is a different challenge, right? Like it's... And here's what we're going to do. I think this might make it look a little bit creepy, if that's the right word here. Does that even give the appearance of an owl? It does to me. Like an owl head. I think it's more so than what I had. I have an idea. I don't know if I can do this. I want to try something. Go back one. I want it subtle. That way it's very almost unnatural. I don't even know if you're going to see that detail, to be honest with you, but I think it looked kind of cool. And we'll put his head real low on his body, like this. And we'll go a shade darker on the body. Not much. Yep. And then we'll bring the wings down. And I actually want to turn them in some. That way they stick out just a hair more. Oops. And then we'll center it. Okay, so while I think it could be better, I think it certainly looks more like an owl now. You know what I mean? I think it looks a heck of a lot more like an owl. Because I mean, you look at what I had originally. I don't think it really, I don't think it really personified an owl at all. I mean, in a way it did, but I think this is definitely more characteristic. And then one thing I think I would do, if I were going to mess with this any, is I think I would, the eyes, that yellow detail around the eyes just doesn't feel big enough to me. Get in there. Come on now. Freaking detail is so sharp in there. So I think I would go a little more like that, maybe? Yeah. And then one other thing I would do, I think this will work, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't birds normally have like multi-layers of wings? Isn't it like a multi-layered thing? Kind of like, thank you. Appreciate it, bud. Wouldn't this normally look something like this? Or am I way off base? You can tell who the animal expert is not here, right? And then I believe the feet would be more like this, with a darker hue. You know what? We'll even give this guy little feet. Why not? So let's go in here. We'll chop it off. Make it circular. Go like this. Appreciate it, Shadow. I'm trying, man. Alright. So now we have an owl that looks more like an owl sitting there than whatever that thing was that I had. This looks more like a owl beast, maybe? Alright, so there we go. Talking to somebody over in the YouTube chat as well. Alright. So, what about these? Would these benefit from any sort of like multi-layered effects like this? Like going slightly darker? Or would that be overdoing it? Hush. It's just one wing. It's the feather effects on that thing. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I guess I should pay attention more to like animal anatomy and stuff if I wanted to really look at, you know, how to make that better. And see, then again, I don't know about you, Shadow, but like I'm not classically trained or anything. Like I don't have like formal actual training. So I think sometimes I call myself a rogue because the way I do things is probably not exactly the way some people would do them. You know what I mean? Very cool. Very cool. Amazon notifying me that my package isn't shipped. How nice. Alright, so I am pretty happy with all that. I think what I'm going to do for now is I think I'm going to take a break for a bit. I think I'm going to restroom, get some drink, stretch, do all that stuff. And probably rest for a little bit. Go ahead and upload. I think I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to upload Spider-Boy and get them on social. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to play some games for a little bit after that, screw around. Probably have a little whiskey or something, hang out. And then I'm probably going to come back later and do some more drawing. That way I can kind of, you know, chill out for a little bit because my brain's starting to feel a little bit fuzzed. You know what I mean? From all this analytical thinking, it's starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed. But I think I'm going to chill out for a bit, play some games and whatnot, and just kind of de-stress. And then I'll come back with this with a fresh set of eyes and maybe look at some other interpretations of what I want to do. I think we're both rogue with that one. I hear you, man. It's one of those things like you know, I'm trying to develop my own style, my own way of doing things. And I want to have my own ideas on how I think things should look. And I know sometimes, you know, some people will go traditional routes, but, you know, I want to try to be as untraditional as I can when it comes to stuff like this. But anyways, I'm going to go rest and play some games and hang out for a bit and do some of that. But I will be back later. If you see me around, you want to come? Not, I understand. I really appreciate you hanging out, though. And, yeah, that's that. So thanks, Shadow. Thanks for all and thanks for the other follow. I appreciate it because I am now. Let's see where I am at. I am 2 follows from 50. So once I hit 2 more follows, then I could hopefully get Twitch affiliate, which is cool. The only thing that'll suck there is I can't co-stream Twitch and YouTube at that point, but that's cool. I can upload to YouTube later if I have to. One thing I always have a look at references. Yeah, I do try to do that. I really do when I'm drawing because I try to at least look at where I'm going, where I want to get to. You know? Yeah, totally. Let me hang on, somebody on. So, anyways, thank you, Shadow. I appreciate it. Thank you, Architect. I know you're over on the YouTube side and the Watch Me Work side, but I appreciate all the input from you as well. And I'm going to go chill out and just kind of unwind a little bit because my brain is really starting to fuzz out. I need to just like de-stress for a little bit. Try to think about some of these. I'm happy with the outcomes, but I want to just kind of chill. Yeah, of course, man. Thank you guys for keeping me company. I really appreciate it. Hey, there he is. Thanks. I'm gonna have to sit down one day and look at your look at some of your stuff, because that is impressive to me, to say the least. I've been looking at it over here in the corner. I took a drafting course when I was in high school and college, but that was 20 plus years ago, and it was all with we didn't do it on computers then. It was all with pencils and paper. So it was a whole different beast at that point. Thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate it, bud. Wow. Yep. Very good. All right, guys. I'm going to go rest for a bit. Y'all have a good one. Thank you both for the follow. Yeah, one more to go, man. I'm right there. I'm right there. That's going to be cool. All right, y'all. Have a great time. I should be back later. Thanks again.